I am Joy Candice and I'll be presenting to you today. The importance of phlebotomy in healthcare is to have a trained or certified personnel to perform his or her duties of phlebotomist to minimize and avoid diagnostic errors during venipunctures. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate proper phlebotomy techniques. So first thing you do, the patient comes in, you say good morning, you introduce yourself. I am Joy Candice and I'm your phlebotomist today. How are you? Ask the patient for his or her name. You sit the patient down, ask the patient for his or her date of birth. You ask the patient to confirm the names, his or her name, by spelling verbally. Then you ask the patient if you have consent to draw a blood specimen. Then you ask the patient if he or she when was the last time he or she had something to eat or drink. Ask of any latex allergies, and if there's any specific hand that he or she would indicate to have the specimen drawn. You then apply the tourniquet, locate your vein, you sanitize the site, anchor the vein, and you stick the patient. After you have received your required amount of specimen, or when withdrawing the needle, you place a gauze, not too much pressure, and then you withdraw the needle. You ask the patient then to apply some pressure at the site while you as a phlebotomist, you do your labeling. After finish labeling, you check the site to see whether it is bleeding or the bleeding has stopped. Then you apply a plaster, and depending on the company's policy, you tell the patient when to return to upload his or her results. There are 3 types of needles that a phlebotomist may use, which are a multi-sample needle, hypodermic needle, and a winged infusion, or it's also called a butterfly needle. Here I have a syringe, which is also a hypodermic needle. Here I have a red tube. These are available in different sizes, colors, volume, and they also have different purposes. However, this red top tube has a clot activator. When the specimen is being placed into this tube, the clot activator clots the blood. This is called a tourniquet. This is being tied around the patient's arm, usually 3 inches above the antecubital area, to restrict the venous blood flow. Okay, here I have the gauze. The gauze is used to hold pressure over the site following blood collection procedure. Here I have a tube holder. This is where the needle is being screwed into, and at the larger end is where the collection tube is placed. A phlebotomist must maintain a clean and organized workspace to avoid mishaps, cross-contamination, and he or she must dispose of tools and equipment correct. Often, phlebotomists would have one-on-one interaction with customers at healthcare facilities. They are tasked with explaining procedures and rendering care to them also. They would introduce themselves, explain procedures, and address customers' concern as well. The technique of removing the needle, so you apply the gauze, then you withdraw the needle. You apply pressure, hold everything outside, hold everything outside, hold anything. Then you label the specimen. There are three types of vein: the median cubical vein, the cephalic vein, and the basilic vein. However, the median cubical vein is a first choice, closer to the surface, better anchored, less pain. The cephalic vein, the second choice, fairly well anchored, best for obese patients. And the basilic vein is the last choice, not well anchored, rolls more easily. In a phlebotomist's working space, he or she would need a sharps container, marked sharps, locking lid, leak proof, puncture resistant, and a biohazard symbol. You always wash and sanitize your hands under a running sink, where you have access to flowing water. Continuous education is to be aware of new development in specimen collection and personal safety in the healthcare facilities. Okay, so a quick summary. A phlebotomist is not someone who just take blood samples or specimen. He or she must be trained and certified in their profession. They also make patients feel comfortable and let them feel as though they are in control of procedures. You make them feel comfortable after all. You will also need to maintain a clean workspace, clean and organized workspace, and continuous educational follow-ups.